Thank you for joining us here at Channel 1 Bradley News. I'm Sierra.
And I'm Rachel.
And we have a very special announcement for you this Friday afternoon. This is indeed a dire time for everyone, not just here in the States, but nationwide.
Yes, there has never been such a desperate time for a human race as there is now. No one ever imagined that this could really happen.
This is a terrible disaster, and we have our men and women in the military to thank for our safety here.
We are truly lucky to be here. I know many of us have lost family and people we love to this horrible disease, which some call the T-virus.
To everyone and anyone that has lost someone, we here at Channel 1 offer our condolences. This is a solemn time for us all.
This is terrible and it can seem hopeless at times. We urge all survivors to work together, to stay safe, to wait for rescue.
Reports from military brass indicate that small-scale rescue operations are being carried out, but it is most important to stay safe and be aware.
The good news is that we have top scientists and researchers working on the solution for this virus, including a possible vaccine that we could give to our troops.
Here with us, we have one of those brilliant scientists, Dr. Sanjay Gupta from Emory University. He's here to help us have a better understanding of what's really going on with these zombies.
Thank you, Dr. Gupta, for joining us.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Sarah. I'm not so sure about brilliant. The so-called T-virus is, we have a graphic here that shows the breakout points in the United States. The darker areas are showing the darker clusters of where we have found them to be. The so-called T-virus is affecting the brain. We have had the opportunity to examine the brain of one of these individuals, and I'd like to show you a little bit about what's happening inside the brain. First of all, it's affecting the hypothalamus, which is located right here in this section of the brain. It is causing them to have an unquenchable hunger and the inability to sleep. In addition, the hippocampus in this section of the brain right here, which accounts for their inability to form long-term memories, and also their spatial recognition, which accounts for them to seamlessly wander. This part of the brain here as well, the thalamus, it's the brain's central relay station, and it explains why they are being driven by scent alone, by the smell alone.
So, doctor, they cannot recognize our faces?
No, they cannot recognize the faces. That part of the brain it's eliminated that their long-term memory, and they're being driven by the smell alone. Thank you, Sarah. Also, the amygdala is this small part of the brain here. It's accounting for their intense aggression, why they are angry and seem to be so violent. In addition to that is the basal ganglia, this section of the brain here. It explains their ability to walk, although they cannot seem to walk particularly well. It is not completely destroyed. It is damaged, but it's not destroyed in these individuals. And then the temporal lobe, this front section of the brain here, it is completely destroyed. And it explains why these zombies can't comprehend language or recognize faces, and also for their inability to have long-term memories. Also, the occipital lobe, located in this back part of the brain here, it is not fully functioning. It explains why they track humans through the smell and sound, but not sight. The reticular formation is located in the center section of the brain here. They appear in a sleep-like state, and they experience a lack of stimulus. In the rear part of the brain here, it explains why it looks like they move very slowly, and yet they increase their speed intensely when they have found prey. The parietal lobe, located in the center rear section of the brain, it's non-functional at all. The zombies, they feel no pain whatsoever. They cannot feel pain. And lastly, the frontal lobe, in the front part of the brain. It seems to carry little or no activity in these undead creatures. They seem to operate solely under the primal urge to feed. It seems as if their only desire is to feed.
Now, doctor, if we want to learn more information, will this slide be on our website?
Yes, all this information will be available on our website at www.bradley.com.
We appear to be experiencing a safety breach here at our complex. Please remain calm and we will be back on air as soon as we can safely do so.
Burns!